thanks so much for stopping by. If you're new, I'm Laurie. I hope you're all doing well. And guess what? Today I'm participating in the Create Trash to Treasure Challenge. Basically, all you need to do is reuse items that you would normally discard and turn them into something useful or some type of decor piece. This challenge is being hosted by Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine and co-hosted with Jessica from Measure and Mix. Both of these women have amazing channels. I'm going to link them below in my description along with the playlist for this challenge. If you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed and you think, hey, I'd like to come back and hang out with her again, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below. I'm starting my coastal cookie jar by using this oversized plastic coffee creamer container. I'm using some black spray paint along with this pretty agave Waverly paint. To cover all the graphics, I'm giving the container and the lid a coat of black spray paint. I sprayed it upside down so the inside would stay free of paint. And now all I'm doing is painting the exterior with a coat of my Waverly paint. While the paint was drying, I pulled out my Cricut and I printed out the words Coastal Cookies. If you don't have a machine that prints out labels, you can always paint it on and that would look great too. Once I placed the vinyl on the paint, I thought, oh my goodness, what if it pulls the paint off? I kept my fingers crossed and thankfully the decal and the paint stayed on the container. I hot glued 2 pieces of jute, one on the top and one on the bottom as an accent piece. I decided to give my cookie jar the splatter effect, so I used some of my white Waverly chalk paint and a paintbrush. I'm accenting the cover with some different shells. I'm going to paint this water bottle cap white just to give the top shell a little height. Once it dried, I hot glued all the shells to the lid. And when I was done, all that was left to do was to add some cookies. For my second project, I'm making a tray out of an old Dollar Tree mirror. I saved the wooden handles from my old foam paintbrushes, so I'm using 6 of those, along with 4 large craft sticks. I'm completely out of beads, so I'm recycling these glitter foam balls. I'm using Sea Breeze and navy blue acrylic paint along with my white chalk paint. I'll also be using some E6000 and I found a piece of old nautical rope and I'm going to use that too. Getting started, I disassembled the mirror. Once I was done, I painted the frame, the backing, the 4 craft sticks, and the 2 handles white. I then took on the task of painting the larger foam balls in the navy blue, and I also painted 2 of the wooden handles. And once I was done with those, I then painted the smaller foam balls along with 2 of the wooden handles in that pretty sea breeze color. Now that all my white pieces were dry, I then reassembled the mirror. Using my craft sticks as extra support pieces, I hot glued them to the back. I'm using 3 of the painted handles as the end handle for my tray. I measured the center point of the end of my tray. I then measured the center point of the wooden handles, and then I glued them together as a group.
Once one side was complete, I then did the other. I wanted to add a rope accent to the tray, so I took 2 pieces of this nautical rope and I knotted them at the ends. After that, I hot glued a knot on each side of the wooden handles. And once again, after I did one side, I then did the other. And to finish off the tray, I added my beaded accent. I alternated the colors and then glued them into place. When you're done, your tray is complete. I wouldn't carry anything super heavy on it, but it definitely can be used as a tray. For my third project, I'm making Solar Starfish jars. I'm using 3 14-ounce clear jars that my pizza sauce came in. I'm using some of the burlap and lace that I had left over from the Dollar Tree, along with a plaid and a polka dot print ribbon. I'm using 3 of these solar lights, and I actually pulled these right out of my garden. I'll be using some jute or twine and my E6000. I'm adding in 3 starfish and some glass beads as accents. I'm wrapping each jar with a piece of burlap, so I measured 1 and then cut 2 additional pieces. Once I'm done, I'm cutting off the finished edge because I want them to have more of a country look. I added a line of glue on the center of the lace and then added my accent ribbon. With the ribbons all complete, I hot glued each one around the center of each jar. I'm using some jute that I had on hand, and all I'm doing is using my hot glue gun and I'm wrapping it around the mouth of each of the jars. Once you're done, you're going to add something to the base of the jars. I'm adding these recycled glass discs to the bottom of each. I have so many of these on hand, so I thought they would be perfect for this project, but if you don't have any, you can always use rocks or shells or anything that you like. For the solar part of this project, I'm using the tops from these solar lights that I bought at the Dollar Tree. I actually bought these a few months ago and I've been using them outside, so I just pulled them out of the ground and I'm using them for this project. The 2 tops fit perfectly together, so I am attaching them with some E6000. Once they're attached, I'm using the same jute and wrapping it around so that it matches the bottom part of the jar. This step is completely optional. Depending upon the color of your solar light, you may just want to leave it as is. I wanted to give the jars a little accent, so I'm painting these 3 synthetic starfish. Once they were dry, I used my hot glue gun and I attached each to the front of the ribbon. To finish the project, and this part is completely optional, I decided to make little coordinating bows that I attached above the starfish. Now that your project's complete, all you need to do is make sure that your solar lights are charged and place them on the tray. I love the way this project came out and it looks so pretty at night.
Thanks so much for stopping by and making these crafts with me. If you're new and you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to click the little red subscribe button below. I'll see you all very soon. Bye, everybody!